Me two, nothing wrong with me. Three, wrong with 28. Well, let the bodies in the floor. Let the bodies in the floor. Maybe coffee was a bad idea. No, I was so slow. Maybe you should have seen me today. I was just like, even my movements just didn't feel fast. Everything just felt really slow motion. I need a drink of water. It's like a sloth today. Poppy, I added a Poppy. Oh, we're live? Or we're just streaming? Like, they can see us? Okay. Hey, they can hear us, though, that's for sure. Hey, guys. How's it going? Yes, they can. Yeah, they can. Yay, we messed up the stream. Y'all can hear us. We're not live yet, though. Sorry, guys. This is a glitch. They can only hear me. Fantastic.
All right, and welcome back to the Talking Tactical episode. As I just wrote it out, 28? 28, right?
Sure. Yeah, 28.
Totally messed up the audio there because you guys got to hear Jarvis and not me. Always fun.
Sorry, guys. Not sorry. That was fun.
You being sorry. That's a funny concept. So, that video is really messed up on my feed here. Anyways, welcome to the show. Welcome to the new setup. We got Nero got a new camera. We got a new little layout for the show. More to come as we get that set up further. As I'm playing around trying to get my news feed to work, so I can actually read the chat, because like the actual page where I'm streaming it from doesn't keep up. Like, it will fall behind, and it drives me nuts.
Well, little tweaks. We're still in our first year together, so I mean, gotta get it going.
Oh, that's all fun. All fun.
But so what's on telling me that 1080? Oh, not much. Just work. I had my first full work week back. I did a little bit of work on the weekend before and the weekend before that, but nothing solid. But yeah, no, back to the same show. New block. So we'll see how that goes. Another couple more weeks, maybe a month or two. We'll see. How about you? What's new with you?
I am Mr. Mom this week. My wife is away, so I am vacationing at home with my kids, which will be fun. I'm actually looking forward to it. So.
What does that mean, vacationing at home? Staycation?
I've taken I got vacation time. I'm not going into work or anything like that. I'm just hanging out and driving them around to everything and figuring it out from there.
Being Mr. Mom, well, Pampers go in a Maytag dryer, crayons go up one drawer higher. Rewind Barney for the 18th time. Never heard that song, Mr. Mom? No. Oh, it's a great one. Love that song. Be Mr. Mom, well. Love it. Lone Star, I believe, is the name of the band. Yeah.
Star?
Yeah. They're the ones that do that, every little thing that you do.
Okay.
I'm so in love with you. You just keep... My wife fucking hates that band.
Yeah, I don't really blame her too much. So.
Yeah, well, country. I know, nobody likes country these days. So, paintball, what have you been up to? Anything new with your gear?
Not yet. I'm going to Widowmaker this week. Gonna go grab a new barrel. I'm debating between the Predator and the Stalker. Some hybrid mags, and that's kind of it. That's all I really need. I need to be able to shoot first strikes if I want to this year, and I need the hybrid mags for it, and just in general to have more mags.
Hi, James. Cool. Oh, what did I do? Oh, apparently PBE's coming up. Which is something I completely forgot about, but it's
like nothing really there. Like,
yeah, I've been there. It's boring as fuck.
Like, maybe First Strike will launch something, but I feel with everything that they've gotten out. Okay, well, yeah, I guess they are, but yeah.
Neither confirm nor deny.
Neither confirm nor deny, but yeah. I think it's like I
think they got what? Oh, they've got what did they just release? They just released Holster. for the pistol.
Yeah.
They released a mag holster for the pistol. I got to see those today. They're thick, good thick Kydex. I popped into DEF CON shortly or for a little bit today. I had to buy an O-ring. See, once we get something going, we can get talking. Mag Fed Addicts in the house. Awesome. Nice to see you, buddy. I had to buy an O-ring for my boss's T15. So I popped in, was talking to Zach, and they were talking about going down. And apparently there's a new shotgun that came out from MCS. Guys who made that PPQ, yeah. And it's another dangerous toy that you can basically thumb load anything into the shells. Anything into the shells. It's pretty weird.
That's interesting. I think I liked the Hammer 7 mods that came out for the pump shotgun approach. They looked pretty, and I was like so tempted to do it a couple times. And
yep.
I think now that I have if I could grab one, maybe.
I think Alabaster Slim had one for the longest, and his looked really good. He used a Magpul shroud, an AR shroud.
Yeah. And yes, George, we will get to that.
I didn't see George's comment.
It's a GTA, the MagFed League that they just did today. Definitely going to get into that. But no, shotguns are definitely interesting in the.
I didn't go. I feel terrible.
I didn't go.
I was sick. I honestly I didn't get out of bed today until I want to say like 5:30. I'm getting over a really bad cold. Shibby. All I see is him writing Shibby. That's the only thing I see from him.
Yeah, I was up at 3:30 to get my wife to the airport, and she had a 7 o'clock flight, so we were there at 4 a.m.
Oh, so you got a couple of days off work then?
Yeah. So I'm off till Thursday, which I'm looking forward to. But what was I going to say? Oh my God, though, for Pearson Airport, because the security gates don't open until 5? I think I want to say 5 o'clock, like 5 a.m. The lineup was 80 people, like just in line and their families, like just crowd. But it was everyone who was flying further south than Florida, because she's in the U.S. So
right.
It was interesting. But
I always go to Buffalo. It's always cheaper if you fly to Buffalo first. Yeah,
but the amount to pick up and then like to get back, like it wasn't worth the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, like for modding markers, like we just talked about the
lost my arm. Hold on. that was a new noise.
So for markers, like I liked the pistols. Like, what did you think? So the Hammer 7 was like it was either the shotgun approach or there was the bolt action that people modded into it to make it a sniper. And I've seen some good ones out there. Like, don't get me wrong, but.
It always had a hopper adapter, so it was always kind of bolt. Well, it's a pump, so it's a bolt action by definition. But yeah. What are you drinking tonight?
I am having some more Flying Monkeys. If I can get the camera to focus it on this right. Flying Monkeys. I don't know.
See, everybody gets a different.
Optical illusion.
But he's running 2 cameras now. He's all like too legit.
I can actually not have reversed writing on my screen. It's quite nice.
Yeah. My shit's all still sideways, and it's okay though. I'm over it. It's fantastic. His shit's good though. But I got a new camera, so obviously we're getting a much better quality of my broken sideways nose. It's fantastic. I don't know how it happened though. It's one of those things that like one day I just looked in the mirror and I was like, my nose is fucking crooked. What did I do? Well, no. I can press it against my face one direction, like just. It looks really funny on glass. It looks like I really fucking mashed it really good, but then the other direction, I can't move it at all. It's a solid brick. It's ridiculous. I don't know what happened.
That's interesting. That's a weird topic for the day.
Deviated septum. Well, hey, no, it's a big cardio issue. I have trouble breathing when I play paintball sometimes because you really need your nose to get going. And if I've got even a little bit of congestion, I'm pooched. I can't do it for the day, and that's why I really I bitched out on paintball today. Breathe.
Yeah, breathing's kind of important.
Yeah, very much.
Actually, speaking on that, what's the worst mask you've had for breathing in paintball? Like, what was the worst ventilation?
I don't know, man. I never purchased one that had bad ventilation. That was like the first thing I did was put it on and try to take a deep breath in and breathe a deep breath out. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. The worst of the ones I've owned would be a Sly.
Yeah,
but Profit.
I've got to use those before, and you can't hear crap out of him.
Yeah, that was my biggest. I had to actually drill out the ear holes so I could hear better. Again, hearing is like very quintessential for the game. You have to hear what's going around, especially places like Paintball City with the gravel or Georgina. You have to hear like this. I remember there was a back when Vaughn Paintball did the Ripple Industry sponsored player games a couple years ago. I went out with, I think it was either Ben or Ben Murphy. Ben Murphy, or his father, whatever the father, I can't remember his name for the life of me. Somebody will correct me. Oh, hey Wolf, how's it going, buddy? Him and I went out for a pistol duel, one-on-one pistol duel, and just got to center field, and he left, he went right and I went left, and I just heard the squish of his foot in the mud, and I turned around, laid on my back, and just like fell backwards as he came around the corner, and just pop, pop, pop. Yeah. Just the noise, just that of his foot in the mud was enough to like trigger that sixth sense of turnaround. He's right behind you. Yeah, it was really, it was great. He wouldn't believe it. He's like, no, there's no way you heard that. I was like, yeah, and that's all it was the squish of your foot gave you away. He's like, no, because we didn't see each other at all. We staggered all the way up their CQB field. Got to center, and I hadn't seen him. Didn't see him once. No idea where he was. We basically mirrored each other's movement the whole way up. Yeah. And the slides really do fog badly. Oh, it's horrible. Excuse me.
I had the I like a just a cheap pair from like Canadian Tire when I first started playing, and then I got i4s that were like marked down cheap, just a black pair, and then what did I have after that? Grills. And then my Vios.
Nice. Oh, the Vios were good. I found foam. Something wrong with the foam.
The original, so when they were doing
the original Vios.
Yeah, the original Vios, when you could get them fully customized, the foam wasn't the best. Since they stopped doing the full customization, and when they did like their tiger print, which are the gold ones that I have, like that year, I think it was 2 years ago now. They've been amazing since, and I got because I even have a brown pair. That was one of their original runs. And I noticed that the foam is just like almost too squishy or something, but still really, really great mask. I love them. If you're like i4s but don't like the designs or just that little too much of a drop, the Vios are just that bit better, and then obviously the i5s are like the next step from it. But no, those are great. But the Vios, the grills. Sorry, the grills. The grills. I had to drop them because I've said it before on the show. 2 fat lips in one day, because
really shot up underneath.
I got shot in the mouth, and somewhat close range. And because it's rubber, it came in and it smashed me in the face. So I got a bit of a fat lip. And then 2 games later, shot again, bounce off the mask.
Gotcha.
And I was like, okay, I'm getting
too soft for rubber. Okay, I never thought of that. That's actually the first I've ever heard of that. And then I guess with First Strike, the kinetic energy behind a First Strike wouldn't make that very much better.
I think the first one was a First
Good evening, Nightmare. What's Nightmare's real name?
James.
James. Good evening, James. I think the worst...
I'd like to shout out to Nightmare because he listened to the community that was right and finally shaved that dirt stash he had.
Did you see the picture of Jesse Godrich? That dirty mustache that he did, like ew, nothing, no, ew, with the worst, dirtiest mustache I've ever seen.
Well, but in Air Force, so he can't grow a beard.
Yeah, he's got to do the. I know, and it can only go beyond his eyes, and he can twirl it, and really strange. I love the God damn it, regulations on mustaches and beards and haircuts. It always makes me chuckle. Mine actually does that very nicely once I grow it out. I trim my mustache, otherwise I eat it. Yeah. But it'll go right out. I can grow it fully. Anyways.
A couple times with my wife where like I have to trim like my beard and I don't. I just kind of like curl it up and she's so mad. It's fun. Good times.
Masks. That's something. Facial hair. With a lot of masks, it collects a lot of condensation. So when you're at those big winter games, you end up getting like just a clump of ice in your face, and it just one time I actually had my face attached to my mask because my beard had frozen to the mask. Yeah. Went to take my mask off and just rip. Waxed my chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not fun.
It's one of those jokes too. Solid Snake was out with us. again, I forgot his first name when we were at DEF CON. Big bushy beard.
Tim?
No,
James?
that's gonna bug me.
Anyway, sorry, buddy. We're
So-
terrible. I'm terrible with names. If I've slept since then, I can't remember.
I always go by nicknames. Nicknames stick in my head, but names don't. Anyways, big bushy beard, and
Mhm.
I think the only like what's the best masks for those is like I4s maybe I5s. But
No, I4s are terrible for that.
it's just it looks so funny though. Is one thing that kills me is like just you see just like that protection around your neck.
Yeah.
So
The i5 would be best for. I find the i5 comes out really low, but the i4, because you were talking about fat lips. A couple people can attest to this. I actually had a huge issue with my i4s. A ball came down. So this has happened on multiple occasions now.
I remember
A ball came down into the top of my mask and blew up on my lens. Absolutely, just horrendous. So now I took the visor off of a grill and put it into my i4s. I have a pair of i4s somewhere that has a visor on it. Or I sold that. I think I might have sold it.
Yeah.
I did it for a while, so.
I gotta get a picture. So Bradley Odell Hooligan from
Yep.
Maritime Milsim podcast.
Okay.
I want to try and find a good picture of it. There it is. I'm gonna save this picture really quick and bring it up. So it's he's got just a giant bushy beard on. Gotta find something. There we go. So he's got a bushy red beard, and he wears I4s. So grab this really quick.
Yes. Sorry, George. We didn't talk about it at all, but 93 players at the Pickup League is pretty. It's pretty cool, man. All right. I just no. Sorry, Ian. You know why? No need to say it publicly.
But no, so 93 players. I'm not sure if they're still doing the PUBG thematics or not. I unfortunately wasn't there. But no, they're selling patches regularly as fundraisers for it. And no, it's been great. It's definitely like in the second or third year now. I want to say
Nice.
third year. And it's truly taken off now, and it's getting super organized. So this is the picture of this is what we were talking about with i4s, where it just cuts and then you just see the bush out. I know you can't see it right now, but you'll see it on the stream in a minute or two. So this is Bradley Odell, the host of Maritime and Milsim podcast. So yeah, that is there is no need for a shamog when you have a beard like that.
Oh, that was his Solid Snake's biggest gripe, is because I kept hitting him in the beard.
Yeah.
I filled his beard with paint that day. Yeah. That's crazy. Look at that thing. Perfect. Look at that nice big pink target right below his ear.
Yeah.
Nice big open target there. Don't hit it though. That would be. Oh my God, that's the worst place to get hit. I've been hit. Oh, that was CQB. I got blindsided. I got hit right in the button, and it was enough to just enough to restart the brain. You know, like you kind of.
Yeah.
Oh. What? Huh?
Because I wear the schmog, and I don't usually get too bad there. Mine is the fat, like the side fat, is the one where that it hits there, and I don't know if I've been hit there so much or it's just a sensitive spot, but it's I'll do a dance after. Whenever I get hit there on the side, it's yeah, there we go. Crap. Okay, I'm gonna walk around for a little bit now, and those marks stay for me.
Weird. That's very strange.
Yeah, so that's my to the point where I've been bunkered sometimes, and that's where I've gotten hit. And there, Wolf's got to get to the back of the
thigh. Yeah.
Back of the knee. Back of the knee. So the thigh's a great one, tense, but I got hit at the knee, and my knee just buckled.
Yep. Or when you get the back of the leg, right where the edge of the knee, where the strap for your knee pad is. So for the rest of the day, it's just rubbing on that welt. And just by the end of the day, it's thick and red and bleeding. Yes. Okay. That's definitely one of the worst places to get hit. There, and then under the armpit.
Yep.
Definitely. Oh, hello. A little wet. Sorry, boys.
What was the other ones too? Trigger finger.
Yeah. Oh.
Just because
gloves. Just wear gloves.
I wear gloves too.
Preventative maintenance.
I know, but just when it still just nicks you there, and you're just oh shit.
Yeah. Well, Tessie shot. That's a no-brainer. But wear a cup. I've never worn a cup. I always do the something like a microfiber or a sniper veil draped over my junk, so I don't get shot in the testes. It's actually, it's funny. The one time, excuse me, at Georgina, a player was very adamant. Oh, I don't want to get shot in the junk, and don't want to get shot in the junk. And I said, in all my years of playing, I've never been shot in the testicles. And as I'm filling up his air tank, the line comes off of his fill nipple, whips, and cracks me right in the junk. It's quite uncomfortable. I've lost your audio if you've muted yourself. Did you mute yourself?
I did. I was opening my beer.
I mean, it's like, oh, silence.
Wolf, I just pray before we start. So the nut shot's like the neck shot. Everyone has that one area where they always get hit, and mine is my
Pray
neck.
before we start. Yeah, you kind of have to. You have no choice at that point.
What was one of the other? There's another one too. I was just thinking of. Not so much where you get hit, but when you get hit, and it's one of those ones where like, oh my god, that hurt. Like that hurt a lot, and you're on the field, you can't, and then you walk off, and you're like, oh, I'm profusely bleeding. Okay, good. Like I can still take a paintball hit because there's been times where I walked off, and I'm like, I don't know if that hit me weird or if I just got like sissy mode for like a little bit here. Like
I find the first
5
hit,
years, and it's like, why should this hurt?
The first hit of the day is always the worst. If it like the first skin hit.
Oh yeah.
Because if it hits your body or anything, it's like, oh, whatever. But as soon as it hits your skin, it's like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that. Why?
Oh,
your body gets, when you work through the whole season, I guess your body just gets prepared, it gets used to the pain, and then you take some time off, and well, your body goes back to sissy mode.
I can perfectly remember playing in my second year, first game out.
Thank you for sharing that, man.
Winter, and I was actually going, and I'm like, I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. Like it was like just for whatever reason, my brain was just there. Like it's like if you like go to play hockey for the first time a bit. Like I don't want to go into the corner. I don't want to get hit. And then like you get the first shot, you're like, okay, I'm good. We're good. Let's do this. And
all right, we got this. I still to this day, I'm the worst Canadian. I can't skate. Well, I can skate. I can't stop. I can skate very well because I rollerbladed. I rollerbladed like a monster as a kid, and I actually dated a girl who was a professional skater and was Olympic level, but she fucked up her leg at one point. Anyways, I could fucking rollerblade like nobody's business, and it's just not transferable. It's one of those things that you're like, well, those are so similar by totally different muscle groups.
Yeah.
And obviously, stopping is completely different. Ugh.
Actually, the other one too is, and Nightmare will definitely agree with this one a lot. After you've come back from a serious injury, like if you've gotten like a messed up knee or see, I had it where he actually had to have surgery on his. What kind?
Warka fine quality premium beer.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so when we went to 0 Hour and I messed up my knee, there was a good month after where I did not want to slide. I didn't want to rush. I didn't want to like get too far ahead and just like injure that again. So yeah, like knee, like injuries like that may not stop you from getting shot, but it'll stop you from advancing. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. When I broke my foot, that put a hold. Actually, you know what? That's such a lie. I was walking through the field like I was invincible. For some reason, I couldn't. I honestly felt invincible. I walked right up through fire, and people were longballing. It was at PRC. People were longballing at me, and I caught one of them. I was joking with the ref. I caught one of the balls out of midair. I was like, I caught it. He's out. Dodgeball rules. And I threw it back at him. It was funny. I actually caught a ball like perfectly. Boom. No break. No nothing. First time that's ever happened. And yeah, but I gotta say, with recovery, my shoulder. When I broke my collarbone, I sat on the couch for about 3 or 4 weeks before I started even doing physio, just because I'm so afraid of hurting it again or making anything worse. And they were going to give me a cortisone shot and all that. I was like, no. Because I broke the collarbone, pulled a bunch of muscles. I don't know if I tore anything. I genuinely can't remember, but it was all the bruising. It was so striping that it was painful. I love sliding. Yeah, when I broke my foot, that was sliding into cover was a big, because I always slide left leg out.
Yeah, I always soccer slide in, but I enjoy sliding's great for getting into places because like the only thing I couldn't transfer from playing speedball to MagFed was the like the front slide because you can't Superman slide it in, but soccer sliding, and I feel like everyone, I don't know if it's just like old fat dads, and I get that because I'm an old fat dad, but like no one wants to do that slide in. Everyone wants to run and kind of like, I'm gonna make it to the bottom, I'm gonna
shoulder.
Yeah, like, exactly.
You know, that's
just that drop.
That's really not helped my recurring injury. That's sliding into like shouldering bunkers, because when you're running into cover, you have to run through cover. You don't just run into it. You make so your body momentum will go through wherever you're going. Because if you start slowing down early, you run the risk of getting hit.
Yeah. Which is why I like sliding, though, because you do slow yourself down, and if I'm running for something and I suddenly drop, people trying to like lob or shoot and like everything, like your target's gone, and that makes a big difference, and it's nice.
Yep. So, there's a video out there somewhere. I think it's Alabaster Slim. I ran the whole length, the backside of PRZ, from past the helicopter to the wall, and it wasn't until maybe the last 2 strides that just 2 of them right to the side of the head, and oh man, it was such a run. I ran the whole length of the field, just full tilt running, and I made it, and I could hear the ball just. You know how it is. The first strikes, phew, past my head. It's insane. And then, sure enough,
the sound is funny. When we went to 0 Hour last year, it was like the first time that I've ever truly been exposed to a lot of first strikes. And everyone always commented like, "Oh, you hear it and you hear it," and I'm just like, I don't hear anything. And then the first one went by my head, and I was like, "Okay, I heard it. I understand what you mean now." And good, bad.
Okay, I did this earlier before the podcast, so I wouldn't forget his name, but I did forget his name. Who was the gentleman who suggested we drink beer and comment?
BRB.
Hey, Scott, right?
Maybe. 1 second.
I'm very sorry for butchering that. Anyways, one of our fans said that he loves the way we talk about beer and whatnot, but I got this interesting Polish beer. It's very sweet, actually, now that I think of it. It's a strong... Scotty. It's from the United States, where apparently they don't get a lot of good beers. That stuff's amazing. I really like it.
I've actually found out that there's 2 types of breweries you're going to find now locally. Is either one that's just trying to get bought out by the big guys, and then the ones who could never find a bar that served good beer and good music, and so they opened up a pub. Like, jokingly, those are the 2 now that apparently exist, which is always interesting to me.
And we got a new like from Mr. Ben Larson. I know who that is by name, but I don't know
Other one too, like staying on the topic of like getting into bunkers. One of the big things too is that like look at what's in between you and other people. I know we've talked about it like on the show before, but like when you're playing CQC fields, I don't know how many times people are just like, oh, I can't make it to this bunker, but it's like, well, make it to this one. Like, don't necessarily think of where you can shoot someone from, but where you can't get shot from. Make the bump, see what new development happens on the field.
Like, put yourself in a position to both be defensive and offensive. Yeah. I think is what you're going for there, yeah. Oh, so I'm going to change subjects, but we did kind of... Oh, excuse me, our new setup here. If you guys want to send us fan art and things like that, we'll get that going in a little spool there, this side, on the bottom left. Because we were kind of at a loss. We've got this big open empty space.
Yeah, we threw up some patches for the first pub night we did.
Yes, which is why some of them are GIFs and some of them are GIF.
Yeah.
God damn you, internet. Some of them are framed properly. Other ones are just white out.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. But no, it's cool. So if you guys want to send us some fan art, some pictures of you guys playing, we will be glad to throw that up there. And thank you.
Also, how do you like the new setup? We actually have a backdrop now and named, and I finally spelled Talking Tactical right, because if you go back and look at old shows, the little plug section used to say Talk In. There was no
Talking Tactical.
Talk In Tactical. Which, on like hindsight, I was like, it kind of sounds a little better. I like that, but it's like, no, I'll stick with it like this.
I'm talking tactical. Oh.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's do something here. Between here and next show, so 2 weeks from now, if you send us a picture of you playing paintball, and we are going to critique gear, everyone who sends us an inbox message, we will randomly draw on next show, and we will send you a patch from Patch Panel, and you will get to pick it out.
He's the one making promises here.
Oh, that's
perfect.
Fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so inbox is pictures of you guys playing.
And next show we're going to talk about people's loadouts, because
because we do have people listening a couple weeks later. That's anywhere between now, the 21st of January, and the 4th of February. Ooh, I'm going to have something to talk about, because that's the second I'm going rock climbing. I think. Second or the third? Probably the third.
Probably the third. That's a Friday.
Yeah, probably a third. Going rock climbing with one of my coworkers. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and doesn't have to be in game. Can be out of game. Can be you in your bathroom, awkwardly lit and everything else, standing with the selfie mode,
Posing,
whatever. But yeah, send us your loadouts. We're gonna talk about them. The only thing is obviously by sending them, you're entering yourself where we're allowed to show your photos and talk about them on the show. So
is it really a contest? Do the contest rules apply? I don't know. There's no rules, no age.
So the other thing too is that this is worldwide. This is not limited to Canada or the U.S. When we pick out a patch, I will order it from Patch Panel. I will ship it to you from them because they give free shipping, so I don't have to pay for it. Because I learned that with the last draw that we did, that I had to pay for shipping. That was stupid. So free patch from Patch Panel. The only one I won't do is a custom patch, but I will put money towards it if you want to send the other half of it. So
fantastic.
That'll be interesting.
Cool. That'll be awesome. I love these spur of the moment little contest things.
Randomness. And the best part is it's hiding in the middle of the show, and I'm not going to share this. I'm not going to share it on the post anywhere. You have to be listening to the audio, the video, the live, whatever. So that'll be interesting.
Cool. So February 4th, we'll deal with that. Mm-hmm. Live, somehow. You'll figure that out. It's not me.
Well, okay. I'll say that for the post show. Talk about that.
Go
ahead.
So no. I want to go back to masks and bunkers and I don't even know lenses. Okay, well the i4 is the they love their lens so much they kept it for the i5. Like they got something right.
But so same with the Vios as well.
Yep.
There's the Ascend, which is their cheap version. It's all plastic, and the I don't even remember what they are. But anyways, the Virtue mask, the lenses are interchangeable for them as well. So you can actually get a cheap mask, good lens.
Empire Helix and the Empire. There's 3 of them,
JT,
and they're like
the JT Flex.
No. That's a different lens. It is the Empire Helix, the E-Flex, and the ProFlex? Can't remember. Anyways, there's three different E-Flex masks. There's 3 different Empire masks, and they all use the same lens. So whenever I'd sell them, I was like, listen, this one's actually pretty decent, the Helix, and you can just buy this little bit more expensive lens instead of spending the $100. Hey, Roberto, instead of spending the $200+ on this mask, here you go, same lens.
Yeah.
Decent coverage. It's a hard plastic, good beginner lens. And if you like it and you like paintball, you're not spending $150 that you're going to throw into your closet and never use again.
Yeah. So, speaking of shipping, contest, if you didn't hear about the contest, we'll talk about it again at the end. Takamo Bolt, somebody won that. $78 in shipping to Argentina.
They had to pay it?
Yeah, Nightmare did a contest. Somebody won it and had to pay $78 in shipping. That's fun. So on the lens thing, HD lenses, they are not as amazing as people think.
I love them. I think you're wrong. But as long as you have good eye. Oh yeah, no. Indoor, they're beautiful. I love them. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Let's hear you. I want to hear your argument, and then I will counter.
Okay, so they're great for in the woods, but they don't. Especially saying it like somewhere like PRZ, where you're going from a highlight contrast to low light contrast. It's HDR. It's one of those ones. The problem is that they're too dark for inside, and then they're not dark enough when you're outside. I'm someone though where I have light sensitive eyes, so in the summer you will almost never see me run a clear lens. Hey,
I see a wolf stand patch. Fantastic.
Yeah. And now I have a chromatic one from my Vios, and I don't know what you just found. Chromatic one from my Vios, and a smoke one, which I can wear inside and outside at PRZ, but I always have to. I walk in the doors and I wait about 5 seconds, then I keep going. So, but okay, so HDRs, you love them?
Moment. Excuse me. Yeah, no, I love the brown HDR. I don't have very light sensitive eyes, but as long as I guess my eyesight's it's just at this weird level with color where when I have that brown tint over, the grass is greener, the walls are grayer. I don't know, I can't explain it, but it works really well for me with PRZ, and then with indoor fields like DEF CON or Sergeant's Bladders, when it's a constant light, it's fine. There's no real problems. But when there's changing light conditions, it does make a big difference. I can definitely agree with that. I can see that for sure.
I have a weird question.
Sure.
Would colored lenses make a difference for the colorblind?
No. There's well, yes, there are glasses that help them see different colors. So yes, I'm sure.
So you can see. But what I mean is that like would an HDR help or hinder them? Because Daryl is actually colorblind. I should really get him in on this. Because I know that's actually a problem for some places, is that like we use red and blue so often for color marketing or color marking, sorry. But that's the most common colorblind mode is red and blue.
That's why one of the reasons why Jeff went to like pink and bright green.
Yeah. And it's that weird thing like where like some people talk about, some people don't, is like that weird like, that's interesting how that works out. But so the other one too is that like chromatic lenses. Those are super popular now from
I haven't seen the chromatic.
With like the sheer on them?
Oh no, I haven't seen that. Like they have different colored tint on the outside.
Yeah, like it's reflective. Like you've seen it. Like like there's the silver reflective, but then you can get like the colored.
Oh, okay, yes. So there was the I remember the Dye i4 where they had the titanium or titanium.
Yeah.
Brown lens. That was my favorite outdoor lens for people.
I'll grab you mine. I'll show you mine. The two that
I believe. No, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you mean. Don't worry. No need to get up. I get it. Okay, come back in. Reel them in. So I have nothing to talk about while you're gone.
Because it's one of those things that like everyone's like, oh, these are great and they're awesome, and you spend all this money on camo, and then you're sitting in there and the sun hits you and it's just like glint, glint.
This is the worst.
Yeah. So
hey, look, I'm right here.
Yeah. And nothing's better too than like if you have something like extreme, like I have all this like green camo on, and then I got a blue lens, and it's just like
tactical.
Yeah, that didn't work out for you. Don't get me wrong, you look like a badass with your mask on, but you put your gear on there, you're just like, no. So I actually I've been using my smoke ones for most of that I got with my original Vios. So they're a brown smoke. There is no sheen on them. And then I have my chromatic ones for like, I want to be flashy. So
I want to be flashy. I'm a pimp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
This is also usually when I'm running my full speedball setups.
I love that he said this. This definitely segues into when I was working at Georgina Paintball. One of the co-owners, I remember him talking to we had a bunch of females that were working behind the counter, and I remember him telling them flat out, like, you have to compliment these guys. These guys spend thousands of dollars on their gear. A simple little, that looks really cool, will go so far coming from a girl. And I was like, this is horrible. But then I thought about it really hard, and it's like, come to think of it, it's a really good marketing strategy. Like, wow, that's a really nice marker. That's all it takes is that one little.
Oh, I feel like that's like the can of worms though for those poor girls that they really don't care that much.
Oh, and then that guy's like, "Oh, you like it?" But it's just like, "Oh God, he's talking to me." It's like, "Hey, how are you?" And the guy just starts rambling on. "Oh, by the way, on my weekend I did this and this and this and this and this, and don't you know, Wisconsin? I love Wisconsin."
So the other one is like
Bobby's World. That was the name of that show. For crying in the mud.
Ego boost.
Oh, yeah. Bobby. Ego boost. Yeah, the ego boost goes a long way, and especially with an outdoor field in the middle of nowhere. We actually had some lookers working for us at the time. I feel terrible. They were cuties. They were good. And then they played. Well, one of them did. But then, I can't remember. Something happened with her boyfriend where she ended up dating one of our customers, and then it just went bad. Never piss in your own pool. Yeah. Anyways, carry on.
I don't know where I was going because that segue just really threw me. So for gear, you're right. Nightmare's right. Like 90% is looks anyways. And part of it too is that like you want to feel that bit of a badass. Because I think we've talked about this before. Is like if you get the confidence behind it, like you can do more, do better. Yeah, like I don't blame it. Me and you talked about a couple shows ago what our favorite camos were. And if I had a chance to like go back and like redo some gear choices, I think the only gear that I've ever regretted was my vest. I got too much real estate moldy on my vest and I needed a smaller one. And I mean, you were talking about that.
Oh, I like my little
yeah, like yours is great, like because like I have the molding on the sides and I'm like, I don't need it, like I just need the front and that's it. So that's my goal for the next year is I'm working towards losing weight and then getting a smaller vest.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I
working
know, you're funny.
No. I'm dead serious. I'm working on a healthier eating style, and at work, I work with a couple of gentlemen who are a little bit plus size, and it's been a real struggle. And it comes down to willpower, and that's the one thing. The three of us were like, well, no matter what, we have to cut out breads. We have to cut out all those carbs, the glutens, the fats. Whereas when lunch comes around, it's like, so what do you want? Burgers, fat, everything we don't want, and it always boils down to willpower.
Yep.
And unfortunately, when you've got two kids, you don't have the time. You can't really cook good, full, healthy meals every day.
Well,
it happens, man.
For me,
life.
Like, commute times is like I'm out of my house by 9:15, and I'm back in my house at 9:30.
Yeah.
And so like lunch and supper, I'm gone for, and I take leftovers, which is kind of okay. But then my lunch is technically at 3:00 in the afternoon, so I'm like, I'm hungry when I get to work, and I'm hungry when I leave work. And if you've been to Union Station anytime soon, there is no healthy option there. It's McDonald's, like breakfast burgers. That's what you get.
No.
When you're hungry. So, but like, yeah, like you said, like it's willpower, it's prep, it's one of the big things too that people, I think, is funny that because they don't want to, is weigh yourself every single morning. Because
no. Do not weigh yourself. It sets unexpected, unrealistic goals, because your weight can change throughout the day based on just how much your body's processing water, how much fat is processed, how much you've eaten, how much you've shit. No, seriously.
No, I know.
And even if you don't eat for the better part of the day, your body will still somehow magically put on weight.
Oh, I know. I don't mean like to take it as a literal. I mean the motivation every day.
Yeah.
Is like, okay.
You can't let it deter yourself, because if you put on an extra 5 pounds, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna push harder, because you could hurt yourself. Yeah. So I mean, it does put. I don't know.
But it's something to remind yourself that, okay, like focus and then like stay on the path.
Neither of us are nutritionists or dietitians or physical therapists, so don't listen to anything we say. Take nothing we say for.
But we're both guys who didn't make that bunker that we should have made last year, and we need to do something about it.
Yeah, cardio is but cardio boils back down to my inability to breathe. So I have to deal with the schnoz at some point. It's very once a week. Yeah, see, once a week. I was thinking the same thing. Do it once a week, every Sunday or every Monday, but just be religious about it. Weigh yourself in, and keep track. Keep track of the days you cheated throughout the week and the days you worked out.
And it's one of those too, that, like, don't be scared that you failed one day, because you didn't fail. You didn't fail the month. You didn't fail the week. Like, you didn't fail your overall goal. So
little battles. Win each battle one day at a time, and then you'll win the war.
And it comes back even like to the field itself too. Is that it's like you hit the field, and you know what, you're gonna lose a couple of gunfights, and then you don't get.
Congratulations!
You keep going.
That's a huge loss. Well, I can. Yeah, I can attest. I went from. Well, I'm a tiny framed guy. The most I ever weighed before this happened was probably about 160, 165 was probably the most I ever weighed in my life. And then working at paintball, pizza, because every party got pizza, and they'd always have leftovers, and cake. Pizza and cake and sugary drinks, because that's all we had available, with Monsters and Pepsi and Coke. And I would just shovel in all this sugar and crap. And I got big. I got up to almost 200 pounds. I looked like a freaking tiger. I've got stretch marks up my back. I did it within like 3 or 4 months. I just pounded on this weight because all I was eating was garbage. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as I got aware of it, and I actually looked at myself in the mirror, I think there was a picture posted by Sheldon, and I just saw my gut, and I was like, oh, I needed to make an active lifestyle change. Mm-hmm. So once we moved off the field and into a house, it was like no more pizza, no more cake. I will only eat when I get home, and I will only eat what I make. Yeah. And I got an intermittent fasting, which is a dangerous thing to get into. Yeah. But it was probably the best way to lose weight. I dropped right back down. I'm down to 155. I'm lean, but again, still no cardio. Yeah. Because it was only diet. I'm such a lazy. I don't like to work out, because then I have to work. I don't have a dad bod. I had a dad bod, and now I have like a transition bod. I'm not muscular, but I'm not fat.
So on Evan's
unlike you,
because I do have the dad bod. So
with your tummy testered.
Yeah, me and my wife met I was about 170 pounds because I have a bigger frame than you do. And
Of course.
I went up to 225 a year
Hi.
ago. And now, not as big as Nightmare's thing. I'm down to just under 210 now, and that was cutting out pop, generally watching what I'm eating, but I'm still losing.
Generally.
Yeah, like what I mean by generally watching what I'm eating is like, I'm not gonna go get like a Big Mac at McDonald's. If I have to get something like to eat, like I'll get like something smaller, like things like that, like just being aware of portions.
Mhm.
And even from then, like I'm working on it, but it's like it's that weird when you have kids, it's that weird thing where it's like, oh, I'll be busy with the kids, and it's like you're busy with them but you're not busy like they're
Yep.
like they are, because it's like you go for a kilometer walk and they go for a kilometer walk. Well, they work twice as hard as you did because they're like half the size, so they burn
Little
off
feet
more
have to
than
go
you.
twice as far.
Yeah.
I miss little pitter patter. No more Vatican City.
Oh,
What?
okay.
What?
Vatican City, and Evan, there will still be a Vatican City every once in a while, is going to Burger Priest in Toronto. It is a grilled cheese sandwich
Okay.
with a burger, grilled cheese sandwich, burger, and then grilled cheese sandwich. And like they're like compressed and stuff like that, but it's delicious and it's horrible.
I think I just felt my heart go.
Oh yeah, it's like when you get poutine. It's like, I'm not eating this because I'm healthy.
Oh,
I'm eating this because
I'm not
I'm
kidding.
going to destroy myself.
Just
for
thinking
24
about that gave me a
hours.
heart attack. No, seriously. My chest is tight.
I want to find a picture of this now. Hold on a second.
Oh, that sounds so. It's not having a heart attack. I'm right there. That's not cool. Give me a second. I need to breathe. Ooh. Ooh. That sounds horrible. I'm gonna die. I need your jaw to eat it. Yeah, like a fucking python. Oh. Oh. Well then, sorry. I'm back alive.
You have to unhinge your jaw to eat.
Fuck. Where was I? I was thinking about something. Oh, Dad bod. Eating garbage. You brought up the McDonald's thing. The other day, my wife and I, she's working full 8-9 hour days. But she's got 2 hours of driving back and forth. So she gets home at like 5 and doesn't want to work because she's gotten into a physical labor job for the first time in a long time. So she's doing that. And then I work fucking 12-hour days. So I get home from work and I don't want to do anything. We both just sat on the couch, looked at each other, and was like, McDonald's? McDonald's. You get that point where it's like it's too.
Coupon season. It's coupon
Exactly.
season right now, and that just makes it worse.
Who needs to go out and buy meat? Look at McDonald's garbage cardboard for 1/10 of the price.
My
But they
favorite
make it.
was like
Go ahead.
the Little Caesars hot and ready. Like you
Yeah.
grab that with a dip
Oh my
sauce,
God.
and it's like even though it's cardboard pizza, like they have such good dip.
Oh, I
you can pour
know.
through it.
I've actually taken to just mayonnaise and hot sauce as a dip, which is terrible for you, but it's still delicious. Cruz, Victor, and you know what we should do? We should probably set up another pub night and get all drunk and
Yeah.
wreck
Now
people.
that we kind of know shiftish stuff, then yes. Because I got next weekend's. Yeah. So the other one too is that for the MagFed Pickup League, I'm like, they're like, oh, you didn't make this one. You're gonna come next one. I'm like, no, because my wife's hosting a baby shower, and then hopefully the one after that. So I'll hopefully be there in February. Oh, but I do have cool news. I'm officially in for the Tier 1 game in May.
I'll believe you.
Jersey.
In what?
May 5th.
No. Evan just said in, period.
I think he's in for that date, maybe? I don't know.
Oh.
They're delayed. We're reading their comments earlier than after.
I
We said
know.
something that we've already forgotten about because it's the two of us and we segued ridiculously.
Squirrel.
There's detours, and then there's these two asshole Canadians that go on a road trip conversation and said, "What's a GPS and a map? We'll just use landmarks." Hey, that one looks like a random thing. Oh, Evan's in for pub night. Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I would
Oh,
love to go
great.
back to there again for pub night.
Yeah, but his internet's terrible.
Evan has
Evan has data. Evan has mobile data. Sure. No, we got to set something up. We'll do another pub night. I'm sure everybody loved that. That was phenomenally fun.
that was so much fun. That was.
And next time we'll get 2 cameras going so that we don't just. That was really weird trying to frame everybody into one shot.
Yeah. Well, now that we have 2, because you have the same camera and I have the same camera, and I can set it up better.
Yeah, it's all pretty in 1080p.
It's like we're actually figuring out how to do a podcast thing. did make it.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's a matter of over time. Like I got a mic stand, and we slowly build. Like this is oh, yep, of course. Even with like as we said before, that really crappy podcast we did a couple of months ago now. You got to keep your failures up because you got to know where you came from in 100 podcasts.
Oh yeah.
See where we are. I love this. I mean, no one starts at the top, except for Evan, bastard. Your last $200 making the best patch company in the world, fucker.
All the fun.
I gotta pee. I'm gonna pee quickly. Keep them entertained.
So I'm actually excited for May for the Tier 1 game. It's at PRZ, so that'll be a lot of fun. MagFed only. In the interim games locally, it's still the MagFed Pickup League, bi-weekly. Check it out on Facebook. George runs it, and they've been doing amazing. It's discounted rates is the one thing, so you're not paying your normal prices for going, so definitely take a look at it. We had James Raza popped in. He carpooled in with Evan, and he made a comment. He goes, man, like with the rates and if I can carpool, like he's gonna start coming down to some more. So it's a lot of fun, and now that it's bi-weekly, I think the numbers are actually better because of it. So we see more people show up because they know it's not every week, it's every other week. So that definitely helps out, and that's kind of it. I'm actually excited too because I'm going to be I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to get some First Strike setup stuff for the new year, and when I go in May, I'm hoping to run just First Strikes.
Yeah, you know what? When I moved out to Alberta, that's the first thing I thought was, fuck, I miss playing with people that know how to play paintball.
Well, actually, I will.
The SAS chapter out there was terrible.
I will say this, that I did reach my goal of 2017, which was learning to use my mic properly. And, which I know is such a stupid thing to say, but I mean, like, having it set up, can find it.
93 players, exactly, Evan.
Yeah, it was 93 players you're commenting. But yeah, like, I learned to use my mic. I used it effectively this year. It wasn't just like, hey, let's all get mic walkie-talkies and then we can all, like, run them. And it's like no one actually does. So I was happy about that this year because 0 Hour started me on it, and I got to do it a good couple times throughout the year.
Yeah, 0 Hour this year. Is that going to be a thing?
Not for me.
Oh, Evan.
So
Evan, in the comments, is that going to be a thing?
I think that is the same weekend as the one that I'm going to in Tier 1.
Any minute now.
Yeah, he still can't see you staring yet because there's such a delay between the live show. That's the other thing too, guys. If you make a comment and we don't talk about it right away, there is about a 10-second delay probably. You're still not even staring yet.
I know, it's fantastic.
Which is going to be funny because now, there we go. It's just going to go for like seconds.
I hate delay. Well, yeah, we got to work on that. Apparently with YouTube, it's a lot better.
Platform.
Yeah, we're not gonna switch our streaming platform, and it's May 5th. Ooh, May the 5th be with you. No, Revenge of the 5th, right? Yeah, it's May the 4th be with you. Revenge of the 5th. Yeah. Great. Now we got a bunch of retarded Liftby people running around. May the 4th be with you always, and also with you. It's fantastic. Oh, okay. So I worked on a show called Freebirds, and if anybody watches Blue Mountain State, I got to work with Thad. Oh my god, he's every bit as amazing in person. Alan Richardson, he is fucking hilarious. He's a really awesome guy, but he's a very good actor. Also, keep staring in my eyes, Jarvis. No.
Evan just trolled you.
And Evan with the show-stopping comment.
A little radar. Yeah, this is what happens when we're 2 beers in and almost hitting our hour mark. Is this just
one?
Yeah.
And a coffee.
As our view count goes up, our
drink count goes up, and our comments go up, and our drifting between conversations goes way out. But back to gear.
Well, actually, I was gonna say one thing is like I think we get about 40 minutes in, and then we just stop talking about stuff and we just watch the chat go.
Well, yeah, because they finally start talking about us. All the paintball made me frisky.
You just had fun playing around with balls and splooging, guys.
Who's Brian?
Nightmare.
Oh, I thought his name was James. You said his name was James.
James? Fuck,
you
I
said
fucked
James.
that up. My bad.
Sorry, Brian. We were calling you James this whole time.
We never did. We called him Nightmare the entire time.
I know. But it was worth the apology. I tried. That's what matters, right? It's the thought that counts. Or is that with presents?
That's with presents. With
Well, it's like you
apologies,
can
it's the sincerity.
with like yarn glued to it and a little face drawn on it, and she would think it was like a piece of fucking art. Put it up on the mantle forever. Give that to your dad, and he's like, eh. Apparently, we had different upbringings.
Not so much.
But I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Excuse me.
Mute warning.
Sorry. You were gonna say something along the line here.
Stuff.
Worse. Don't worry, I haven't called worse. Yeah, late for dinner. No one likes to be called late for dinner. Remember, you can call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner. Come on.
Dad jokes here.
Dad jokes to the extreme. And I'm not even a dad. Okay, well, no, I did dip my toes into that pond for a while as a stepdad. It was eye-opening. I learned a lot about myself because the more you interact with the child, the more of yourself you see in the child.
Yep.
But you can't tell if it's because you're actually imprinting on them or if you're just projecting yourself and you're seeing yourself because that's what you want to see.
Well, the stepdad thing is interesting too because like with you've met my daughter and my son, and it's like there's like the joke for like carbon copies. Like, okay, I don't know what's nurture anymore.
Well, your son is a carbon copy of you. He is. He's got your smile. He's got your. Matthew is a little you. He's got enough of your mother mixed in so that he's a little bit better looking, but he's definitely got your personality through and through.
Oh yeah, and
it's so
Danielle's
Hi.
to a T.
What's your name? Are we best friends now? We just met, kid. But you know what? To his defense, I was the same way when you've met my and obviously Evan's daughter is like. That kid.
I've heard stories of Evan's daughter.
She's adorable. No. When we helped them move, she was sleeping. I guess she had slept on the couch in the living room. But I think it was 5 or 6 in the morning. I wake up to like this little blonde child, and she has that Children of the Corn haircut. I'm sorry, Evan. And she's just staring over me. And I wake up, and she's like, "Come watch YouTube with me." And then pittered away. And it's just like I don't know if I'm scared. Or if I have to get up now. Oh. But now I definitely have to pee. So I got up anyways, sat on the couch, and Willow and Uncle Peter sat and watched whatever YouTube videos that she was watching at the time. I can't remember now. Something to do with Lego or ponies. I don't know. Girl things. I wasn't paying attention. I was half asleep.
That's funny.
Yeah, no. Evan's first daughter is definitely a little carbon copy of him, but very strange. Which is honest. That's the thing about children.
It's
right?
interesting though when you see the carbon copy and it's the opposite gender, because it's just like that. Like, because with me and my wife, it's like we got a girl and a boy, and my daughter is her, my son is me. Like the other one get mixed in every once in a while, but it's just so funny. And one of my favorite jokes is that like when you see them do similar things but different ways. So my favorite example of this is my daughter. Her and my son were playing hide and seek, and it's about 2 years ago maybe. She has all these particular spots where she knows you can hide, so she goes through her checklist and she checks every single one. Even though she can hear my son laughing, she knows, I'm gonna go check these spots. And Matthew,
she's just meticulous.
Oh, exactly. So then my son though runs into the middle of the house, Danielle, and then just listens for the laughter. Because she can't stop from laughing when she's hiding.
Of course.
And then goes and runs for it. And I'm like, and there you go. There's like, what's the quickest way of finding somebody?
Yep. Yeah, well, girls are meticulous and boys are like straight to the point.
Yeah.
Get her done. Where was it? Fuck.
We segue forward from paintballs. Like I said, welcome to the Canadian Roadshow.
Yeah, welcome to the Canadian Roadshow, where we talk about everything, anything, and everything else. I remember there was a comedian, I think it's Owen Smith, was talking about how when he takes a really, this is going to definitely go to the R-rated, when he drops a really good deuce. You know the one that's just perfect? He tears a little bit. And one time when he had this new baby boy, he was looking at his kid, he couldn't figure out what his kid was doing, And then he just sees a little tear roll down his son's eye. And he's like, shit, he's taking a poop. I pass that on. I pass that on in my seed. My son now cries when he's pooping. You know? It just something like that. You never know, right? Kids are they're you. They're half of you.
Yep.
I mean, if it's a boy, it's like 60-40 or something to that effect, right? Because it's depending on if you have a boy or a girl. If it's a girl, you've got like less than half of a X chromosome or what have you. I don't know.
The other thing too is that the babies for the first 3 months, I think it is, will always look like the father more than the mother at birth.
Well, that's genetic, so that we don't kill them.
Yeah, so it's because so that they can bond with the baby early on, which I found that out because like when both my kids were born, my wife was just like, "So there's Tyler. I don't know where you are though." So
my mother tells a story about when she was in the hospital giving birth after myself or one of my other sisters, but there was a black baby born, or whatever, African American, dark skinned child born. But when they're born, their skin is more of a purple. And it's not quite dark, it's not quite light. Mm-hmm. The father lost his mind, like had to be removed from the hospital, was going to murder the wife because he didn't believe the baby was his because it was such a lighter shade of gray or shade
gotcha.
Skin of gray. Oh, I'm going now.
That's bad.
I can't do PC. Sorry.
Well, actually, on that one, so Tahal, who's a good friend of ours.
Tahoilet. Tahal Hoylet.
He's from Cuba and his wife is white, like Caucasian. So they've got a 8-month-old, and I don't know how many times she was asked like, oh well, who's the father, like, or like is that yours, like just the assumption because he's mixed. But the funnier one is that my wife and her went to BC this summer for a wedding, and it was just the two of them and a mixed colored baby. And they're like, I can count about 5 or 6 times where people thought we were a lesbian couple, and because
with an in vitro baby,
because they had the wedding bands and everything, because they're both married, and it was it's fun.
That's odd. I don't know how I'd feel. Could you imagine if? Oh nope. It's like going to hang out with a bunch of your bros, and 2 guys are married, and like, what are you guys together? Awkward.
Actually, that's the weird one. Eh? Like, it's like, so it's all the guys hanging out, but it's like, wait. Why'd you bring your spouse?
Oh, I fucking hate that. Some of our friends are very much prone to bringing their spouse when it comes to certain things. It's gotten to the point where it's like, well, there's no him without her. Fuck.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. But, I remember there were people that got engaged at a paintball field. There were a lot of good couples out of it. But at the same time, just leave your couple at home. It's healthy to have mixed hobbies.
There's a couple in the U.S. that I met at 0 Hour. I'm gonna forget his name, which is really bad. But one of them's a YouTuber, and the guy's a YouTuber, and the girl's just kind of like whatever. But because she's a girl in paintball, she's actually almost as popular, if not more popular.
Yeah,
it's that weird like relationship, but I think they did a really good job where like they supported each other at the field, but they were kind of separate entities. Like they realized like one facilitates one type of niche and one facilitates another, and they were good. Like, and they had a really good balance about it, and they really enjoyed the sport. But it's like, that's the weird couples thing.
Sam came out for a couple games. She learned she liked the game, she liked playing, but she just didn't like getting shot. The old trope of I love everything about it except that it hurts. So she stopped playing. She did a good job. Her and I played a few times. She wasn't bad, but yeah.
My biggest supporter in my family goes Smokey for paintball, because he randomly like if I come back and I leave my paintball gear out, he will lick the paint off of it.
Ew.
I don't get it, but he was at the field the one time.
Yes, my wife would much rather hang out at the booth. She'd rather chill out with Shirley and Colleen and just shoot the shit and talk and flirt with the boys, because she knows how to sell. I taught her that. She worked at Georgina too.
And then actually the funny one, the person who loves the Patch Club more than me is Matthew.
Yeah.
When
Oh, yeah.
he goes, "Oh, you got a new patch? Can I see it? Can I have this one?" I'm like,
Oh, God.
no, this is a limited edition. You can fuck off. Like,
Fuck you, little seed of Satan. Yeah, I know it's my seed, but fuck you. No,
I'm like, you can
never say
have
that
these
to
in
me.
the will. This is my Patch Club 2018. So I've actually contemplated a couple times of like getting him a subscription.
I've said it 1,000 times. I honestly get them, and if somebody if like when I show off, yeah, if somebody like, shows interest in it, take it because it is what it is. It's just a patch to me. They're amazing. I love them. They're art, but art is something that needs to be shared. And I always try to be like, hey, this is where I got it from, patchpanel.ca.
Yeah.
They're online only. There's no store, and if you want to do custom, they'll do anything for you. They've got a laser cut, and they can do PVC, blah blah blah. And I've always got that whole display in my trunk.
Yeah.
So I always try to sell, friendliness. What is it? Brand ambassador? Is the politically correct term? I don't know.
Influencer?
We're not sponsored. No, brand ambassador.
Yeah, no, because ambassador means you're still affiliated.
We're affiliated.
Oh,
just offer to give away a free patch, but people who are just joining and missed the middle of the podcast won't know any of the stipulations, so we'll have to listen to the whole podcast all over again.
No.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, so I'll run through that again actually now. So to get entered into getting a free patch from patchpanel.ca.
Well, no, from Talking Tactical Podcast that we will allow you to select.
Podcast that allows you to select something for Patch Panel.
How do you enter?
So you enter by messaging us on Facebook a picture of you in your setup, not gear on the ground. I want to see it on your actual physical person. And it can be in-game, out-of-game, in your bathroom, taken by your spouse awkwardly while she's like, wait, I didn't think you had this much stuff. Why do you have this much stuff? All of that. We are going to do our next show on loadouts, so we want to have a whole bunch of examples, and we're going to talk about it. That's going to be ending on February 4th by 8:30 EST. You have to get us the picture. We will pick out a patch from Patch Panel. I will order it. I will ship it to you.
You will pick out the patch that you want.
I don't have to.
You get to pick the patch that you want.
Yeah. So you'll pick the patch.
And if you want a custom patch, we will work. We'll work something out where we pay
we'll pay partial of it.
A chunk of it.
Yeah, we'll pay for the most of it. Like I'm like looking up to like 20 USD for a patch.
Sure.
Like anything on the site that's
there you go.
USD. But yeah, so that's the way you enter.
Giveaways.
Yay! The second giveaway ever on the show. The first one was during pub night. But this is like.
And I don't even remember us giving those away. Those that actually happened.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to buy them from Evan and then ship them out after. I'm like, wait, Evan does free shipping. I'm going to use his site and I'll just make him ship it to where I need it to, which
Fantastic.
Made this a lot easier. So yeah, send those to us. You have 2 weeks to do it. We will maybe share it eventually. Maybe not. Depends on how many we're getting. If we're not getting a ton of traction, then we'll share it on social media. But yeah, and you can also find us on all of the links because I actually made a nice little graphic for that. So Talking Tactical Podcast, Talking Tactical on Instagram and Twitter. Did you get access to your Twitter again?
It's there. I haven't posted anything because it's mostly just Evan and he's got an automatic poster that tells how bad his metrics were for the month. I can only imagine how bad ours are. So I don't bother. It's okay.
But you can find us on Instagram and everything else. So yeah. On
Instagram, you can find me at Mr. Nope, I'm good. I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm ready to go to bed. I rocked a cup of coffee, but I'm still ready to fall asleep. Thank you, everyone who came out to listen. I know we don't say it often. What do we start with? Masks, breathing, talking tactical.
We started. I don't even know where we started. We started talking about paintball on masks, then
I don't remember.
making it into bunkers, then lenses, then
beards, patches. Fantastic. I'm glad we have this wonderful chat every 2 weeks. If you'd like to be a guest, be sure to hit us up in our comments, and we will definitely.
Yeah, we got show regularity happening again, so we're definitely going to be reaching out to some people who reached to us in 2017. Right.
Hey, and if you have any great videos of yourselves playing as well, share them with us as well, and we'll share as well. We'll share for share and like for like, is all that jazz. If you have your own pages. Yeah.
So where can people find you on your pages?
Somewhere on the internet. Instagram.com/Mr. Narrowwolf. or just at Mr. Neurowolf. Facebook, I think I'm watching. No, I'm watching as myself. Damn it. Normally I always watch as my Neurowolf account. But on Facebook, it's just Neurowolf, one word, Nerwulf. No O, one O, not two. Whatever. It is what it is. Thank you all for coming out. As always, play the way you train the way you play. Get out there, get cardio. Cardio is very important. Something that I've lacked for years is the ability to keep running. I'm always out of breath. Try cardio.
So,
oh God, yeah. Jesus.
As we just commented, you can find us on Talking Tactical Podcast on Facebook. Live streams, all of our content comes through.
Can I stop smiling now?
I'm gonna mute you.
Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. So you can find us on Facebook on Talking Tactical Podcast. Look up Talking Tactical on any of your audio versions because we are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google, whatever the Play Store.
My face is so tired. Can you hear me? Can they not hear me?
No, they can't hear you, but you're fucking killing me right now. And as always, you can find us on Instagram under Talking Tactical. That's where most of the content comes from. Shoot us your pictures for the contest going on. We will see you 2 weeks from now on Sunday, 8:30 Eastern. And as always, if you want to tag us for hashtags, it is TT Podcast. I'm going to unmute Jarvis now so he can say goodbye.
Goodbye, kids.
All right, guys, we will see you on the field and have a great one.
Are we done yet? Are we on? Fantastic. And we're in the outro where everyone can hear me rhythm on.